Alright, do your intro bullshit.
I may have fucked my wife, but I'm also Eskimo brothers with my wife.
Most painful sexual experience.
Anal. The fact that
You got anal? Okay.
You know, this is the reason people hate me. It's because I'm real.
Okay.
Real douchey.
No, I'm...
And Miley Cyrus, you forgot her. So, yeah.
I wish twerking caused cancer. Wouldn't that be some shit if they just like, alright, we're gonna put a cork in your dick, you're never gonna come again. You're just like, I'm frustrated.
I know you're not a classy guy, but have some class.
The show is called Hard to Swallow. Are you fucking kidding me?
I can't do this. Yeah, what the hell was that neighbor kid's name that we scared the shit out of?
Michael?
I didn't even know the kid. I'd see him walking by the house every day after school, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. So I had the whole Scream get up, the mask and the robe and shit, and I went out on the porch, and I sat down and just in like one of the patio chairs, like I was a mannequin, like a Halloween mannequin chilling, and there was that big ass at the top of my driveway. There was that big ass pine tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sat on the porch, and when he was on the first side of the driveway, he'd see me sitting there, or the first side of the tree. Then he'd walk behind the tree, and I stood up, had the big-ass butcher knife, and I stood at the end of the porch. And he stopped, and he looked down the driveway, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, I had this look like, oh my god, that thing moved. What is that? And then he was so like, confused that he walked back to the other side of the tree. He was just like, huh? And at this point, I was down the stairs of the porch. And he's like, oh my god! And he just took off running down the road. And then it was years later, like probably a year later, that he showed up at our school. And after meeting the kid, I'm glad I scared the shit out of him, because he was a weird fucker. His whole damn family was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Somebody fucked his face up with a bat, too, in gym. Remember they were playing, like, softball or whatever. And he was standing behind the fence, the chain link fence, and someone swung to hit the ball, and the bat apparently flew backwards and threw one of the squares in the fence. And he had, what was it, the B?
Yeah.
Remember the B on the end of the bat, like in his fucking forehead?
Yeah, I remember that. I was wishing it would have been me that did it.
So, what did you think about all the stupid films we made? Did you have a good time with us?
Oh, hell yeah.
I just found those not too long ago. I pulled out a bunch of old DVDs that I had made, and they're very poor quality, because I remember when I put them on DVD, I had that recorder. Yep. I didn't burn them in the highest quality, which I'm regretting now. So maybe I'll have to get out the old actual mini VHS, whatever the fuck those are called, and kind of do a redo.
Yeah.
But I have like the rough edit of the beginning of the movie where it was supposed to be like some stupid horror movie.
Yep.
And where'd that mask come from? It was just your attic or something?
One of my dad's masks, yeah.
It was like a weird hairy monster fucking thing, and we were just like, alright, fuck it. And then we had, it was a lot of times it was you. When you weren't in the scene, we'd have you in the costume.
Yep, or I was behind the camera.
Right, yeah, you know. And, so we put this fucking jumpsuit on you that was like my Michael Myers Halloween suit that I'd wear.
Yep.
And this mask, and have you just grabbing our friends and dragging them off screen.
Snapping Jeremy's neck.
That one turned out good. The only way I had to edit was to be on that fucking DVD recorder, which there's no editing software, right?
Yep.
It's like play, pause, and if you fuck it up, you pretty much gotta start over, because they weren't rewritable discs.
Yep.
So I went through so many fucking DVDs, just like, okay, I gotta get this next step perfect, because we filmed it from the front and then from the back, and we just turned his shirt backwards, remember?
Yep.
I had seen that technique on some old-ass documentary or something about old horror movies. So I was like, alright, we have no fucking special effects.
So we gotta do what we can do.
So we were like, alright, Jeremy, we're gonna quick turn your head to the right, and then you're gonna turn your shirt around, and then we're gonna have you fucking snap to the left or whatever, and then there was that perfect moment when he, like, fell. And one of you, he was standing next to the street sign, the arrow. Mm-hmm. And when he fell, one of you...
Somebody smacked the sign.
So it gave it this fucking weight of this, like, he falls out of frame and you just hear boing.
That was great.
It was editing. It just turned out fucking perfect. Not so perfect in editing was the scene where we tried to kill your sister.
Yep.
We had her. We pulled her out of a tree or whatever in the scene. And then we wanted to have a shot. She was only, how old was she at this point?
7 or 8, 9.
And we're having her in this movie trying to stab her. we have this serial killer stabbing your 8-year-old sister. And in order to try to do it, we took her shirt
and wrapped it around a pillow and stabbed the pillow.
But we had
a packet of cherry Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we took some cherry Kool-Aid and corn syrup, Caro syrup, and I think we put it in a rubber glove or something.
Yeah.
And then we put it behind the shirt and we kept stabbing it, trying to hope that the packet would pop and the blood would show. But the pillow looked so bad, and it's like, we never ended up doing that, really, editing into the movie.
I think I still had that shirt somewhere for a long-ass time.
Are you hoping I would get famous and you could sell it?
Sure, why not?
If that ever happens, I'll sign it for you and put it on eBay.
I think I still had the shirt that we killed me in, too.
Oh yeah, I remember the scene where it was like, the whole point of the film was supposed to be like, everyone thinks that I'm the killer, like I play myself, and everyone's supposed to think I'm the killer. And then you kill me at the end.
New kid in town.
Right. And I love horror movies, all about, yeah.
Yep.
And then at the end, like, there's a scene where I was in the basement of the Chuck Wagon, which is the restaurant in the Double J, and you come up behind me and, like, stab me in the back.
Yep.
And then, you're like, but you did it because you thought that I was the one killing everybody.
Yeah.
We never really shot everything in between. We kind of went from, like, we shot, like, the first, I think there was 15 minutes of footage.
And then
there was a bunch of scenes that were never edited, and then we shot the end scene.
And the first scene that we actually shot was me dying. I got stabbed in the chest with a stick. A sharp stick.
Yeah.
And then my face got stomped. I remember showing my mom the clip we made of that. Made her cry.
Yeah, we killed it. Because that one turned out good, too, didn't it?
We were pretty good.
I don't think I watched
you doing it.
That must be on a different. I think it might still be on VHS somewhere.
Maybe.
Because I didn't see that one when I rewatched them. We killed you. We killed Jeremy. We killed Katie.
We killed Aaron Myers.
Oh, did we kill Aaron?
Yeah, we strangled him.
In the truck.
And then we panned through and everybody is standing there that was supposed to be dead.
That's right. There was a fucked up shot where we were like, all right, you get in the truck and then we're gonna kill you. But he gets in the truck. And then we pan around and you can see the reflection of all like 10 of our friends standing in the background. We're like, fuck.
And like 8 of them were supposed to be dead already.
Yeah, that's right. The scene from the movie was also on there where, I don't know why I thought this would be funny. The scene with the barbecue sauce. That song that Jay-Z did, the brush.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I remember that now.
I don't know why you ever went along with any of my stupid ass ideas, because they were looking back, they were not funny. That was not funny.
They were funny at the time, and that's all that matters.
I had the scene for the movie where I was like, because we wanted my character to be a buffoon, so we had me like barbecuing chicken, and you come in, you change the radio station, put on Jay-Z, brush that dirt off your shoulder, and I just start doing the dance, like rubbing the barbecue sauce all over me.
Yep.
And I thought it was so funny.
You looked down and realized what you did.
Yeah.
And I think you started crying.
The crying one was
the onions.
The onions, like there's a scene where I was supposed to be like.
Or no, you were cutting cucumbers.
Yeah, that was the joke.
You were crying, and
I was like cutting something, and you see me like bawling my eyes out, and you come up and you're like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "And the onions are crying," and you're like. You're
cutting cucumbers.
Yeah, that was your exact line, right? You said it the same way. Do it again.
You're cutting cucumbers.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly the way you said it in the clip. So you and I were super tight for like 7th through high school. But then now I only see you in the summer. What the fuck's that about?
Well, you moved away, you dumb fuck.
What? No, you gotta blame me?
No, we can blame your mom.
Yeah.
She's the one that let the trailer go into foreclosure and forced you to move in the first place.
I like how, I was like, right after senior year, I think, a cop just showed up at my house. She would stay with her boyfriend, and I would live in the house by myself. And I'm sitting there one day, and this cop pulls up. I was like, oh, shit. And just
found me.
Yeah, fuck, run! And he just starts nailing this notice on the door. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, shit. So I let him leave. And I come out and I read the notice. And it's like, the house has been deemed abandoned because the mortgage was in my grandmother's name. At this point, it was 2005. And she had died in, like, 99.
Wow.
So not only was the mortgage not getting paid, but it was in my dead grandmother's name. So they're like, "Oh, it's abandoned," and I had I think 7 days to get out.
Wow.
We found an apartment, and I moved in within like 3 days. Luckily, we found this guy who didn't check credit scores or any of that bullshit. But yeah, I was 18. I was like, oh, okay, which I've been out on my own ever since. So.
Yep.
Did you ever hear that like urban legend shit?
No.
The story goes that there was supposed to be this girl, and I had heard that it happened at Monty's. If you know Monty's, I think I brought you there before.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you and I went there a couple times, maybe.
Yeah.
But a girl went to Monty's, was with a couple friends, and met this guy, and it was just flirting, and the guy asked her to go home with him, and she was game, but she was drunk, and her friends, of course, were like, "Oh, fuck you ain't going home with some stranger." So she ends up making out with the guy at the bar. They exchange phone numbers. She goes home with her friends. Again, she wanted to go home with the dude.
Yeah.
And a couple days later, apparently, remember, this is all fake. But it sounds good so far, right?
Yeah, it does.
So she wakes up, and there's, like, sores and shit around her mouth. Like, just scabs and shit, and she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And the legend says that she went to the doctor, and the doctor informs her that this is a very rare disease that only occurs... It's a virus that grows in the saliva of cannibals. So,
all right, now it's losing some quality.
Well, I mean, you hear like mad cow disease. That's isn't that from like cows eating beef or something?
I'm not sure.
I think I heard that it's from like if you feed somehow beef product gets into a cow's food or something. So I guess if you think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Nature's way of not allowing cannibalism.
Yeah, I guess.
So, then she learns, of course, that this guy must have been a cannibal. And the legend was like, oh, there's a cannibal roaming around Grand Rapids. And then it started happening in quotes, all in other bars around town. But I remember, I was fascinated when I first heard it. Because I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. And of course, I started doing all this research, and it starts to fall apart once you actually look into it.
Yeah.
But...
just like most things.
Yeah. I heard a car door, I was like, that can't be him. Usually I'll poke my head out there and be nosy, Hey, what the fuck's going on my lawn?
Yo, fuck.
And I saw, we are old, man.
You need your cane.
Dude, we graduated in 2005. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about that and my fucking balls fall off. Like, I feel so old I don't even need them anymore. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, who needs these shit?
Like,
I feel the same way, except for a different reason. I just haven't had any in 5 years, so I don't need these either.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you remember how I got my raise there?
I'm not.
You remember that day? I remember you and your dad were pissed, but I was like, I have to do this.
Oh, yeah, you threatened to quit, didn't you?
I just didn't show up one day.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even call anybody. I didn't threaten anybody. I just said, I'm not going to work. I pulled an office space, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you quit? No, I just didn't go. And we were only making like $5 an hour. You might have been like $5.50 at that point.
I think you were at $5.15, and I think I was at $5.45 or $5.60. One of the two.
It's fucked up to think about that was minimum wage only 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, I love the Chris Rock bit where he's like minimum wage. Think about that. He's like, what they're saying is, if I could pay you less, I would. But it's against the law.
Very true.
But no, I was just like, I think you guys came to pick me up for work, because you used to pick me up for work a lot.
Yep.
When we all worked the same shift.
Yep.
And
save gas.
I don't think I was even driving yet. I didn't get my license till late.
Not quite.
I didn't get my license till I was like 18.
Yeah.
I just never tried.
Yep.
I don't know why, but I just never tried. But I'm not going to work today. You're like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And then was it Keith, that douchebag Keith?
Yeah.
Called me up and was like, where are you at? And I was like, I'm not coming in until I get my money. I'm getting my raise. Because they were supposed to give me, it was only like 30 cents or something. But they had been promising us for a long time.
Hell yeah.
It was like 6 months in, they were like, oh yeah, you qualify for a raise and we'll talk about it when it's, and it'll be happening, da-da-da. And they just kept putting it off. That guy was just an absolute dick.
Yep.
Who was that sexy ass bitch I saw changing in the cooler? Like changed right in front of me in the cooler.
Was it Claire or was it Sarah?
I think I wish it was Claire, but it was Sarah.
They were
both
both
fucking
equally hot.
sexy as hell.
Both equally fucking hot.
Sarah, yeah, she was like, I was like, what, 16, 17?
Yep.
16? I was like, oh. And she was easily probably mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
At least early 20s.
Yep.
And just like, oh, I'm going to change your... Oh, don't worry about it. Just, okay, I'm not worried about it. My pants just got a little tight, though.
Yeah.
We had such a crush on her that when I was at the time writing that script, and I named
from Ordinary.
Miles from Ordinary. I was writing the script, and I was like, I need a name for the wife.
How about Claire?
And I was like, oh, Claire's so fucking hot. So I named the character Claire. Didn't even give her her personality. I just wanted to name her Claire just because I had such a fucking hard-on
just
for her.
because you could fuck Claire in the story.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be Miles. I'm going to be married to Claire, goddammit. Remember writing that script? That was fun.
Yeah.
I'd always be like, you must have hated me in school, like accounting class. I'd just be like, not paying attention. I failed accounting because I just stopped doing the work. I didn't need it. I had the senioritis bullshit.
Yep.
But all I would do is I would write shit and then be like, Joey, read this. And you'd probably be like, fuck. Always
Again?
making me read
Damn it.
shit.
I hate fucking reading.
How many pages over the years do you think I had you read?
Jesus.
Random shit that I wrote.
Make J.R. Tolkien fucking jealous.
And
You can never write that many pages.
I remember Phil's like threatened to beat me up one day at the bus stop.
Yep.
And then I was like, I was probably like 8th grade. I was like, went home and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get my ass kicked at the bus stop tomorrow. And then I went, Mom, what do I do? Do I go to the bus stop? She's like, just go to the fucking bus stop. Just, he beats you up, he beats you up. Just fight back. And I go to the bus stop and he didn't even show up. And I was like, I am victorious.
You won your first fight.
Yeah.
By default.
That's right. I win by default. Remember was it the bat? The bat got loose in the kitchen?
Yeah.
And everyone had like pots in their
Hell
head
yeah.
trying to keep it out of their hair.
Me and you, we put pots in our heads and fucking grabbed a broom and another pot and tried to go catch him.
I was like, I had really long hair at the time. I used to be the shaggy dog. I know, remember that? I always had like bangs down past my eyes.
Yeah.
Which was perfect for sleeping in class.
Yeah.
But I would just hide behind the bangs. But I was like, I heard that, bats get caught in your hair, so I'm going to put a pot on my head. And you're like, me too. Or like right around the kitchen. Gotta keep it out of their fucking froze. I'll be in like Meyer, and I'll hear like, oh my god, hey Jake, and like bitches
buddy.
Yeah, bitches will give me a hug, and I'm like, hey, I don't remember.
Hey buddy.
How's it going, pal? And I do that at work a lot too. I'll be like, hey buddy. I do that to my bosses even. And one of them asked me one time, why do you always do that? It's like, I can't remember anybody's name anymore. You know how I remember their names? There's big tits, there's medium tits, there's bent over, I seen her ass one time. There's I wish I could fuck in a closet.
Oh yeah.